You know something's wrong with your neighborhood when checking your mail starts to feel like you're sneaking behind enemy lines. That's where I found myself a few months into moving into Maple Creek Reserve, a neighborhood that looked like it belonged on the front of a retirement community brochure. Rows of pastel-painted houses, hedges trimmed to perfection, and neighbors who waved just a little too rehearsed. I moved in after retiring from 38 years as a mail carrier, hoping for some peace and routine. What I got instead was a war of nerves with a woman named Carol Delaney. Carol was the president of the HOA, or so she claimed, and she had the vibe of someone who'd call the cops on a lemonade stand. Platinum hair sprayed into place, always in some coordinated outfit with pearls and orthopedic heels. Clipboard never far from her side. She'd pop up like a pop quiz the second anything looked slightly out of line. First week I moved in, she welcomed me with a brochure thicker than a phone book, the Maple Creek Code of Residential Excellence. It sounded like satire. I thought she was joking. She wasn't. It started small, of course. A note tucked in my door about how my front porch flag was an inch too low. Then it was my recycling bin being out overnight. Then the holiday wreath I'd hung before Thanksgiving. We decorate after December 1st, her note said, underlined in red. But I shrugged it off. I'd dealt with worse on my old mail routes. I wasn't about to let a micromanaging HOA queen get under my skin. Things only got strange when my pension check didn't arrive. I get one every third Wednesday like clockwork. Never missed, never late. I waited a day, then two. Still nothing. I called the retirement office. It was sent out on schedule. Mr. Lanford, the woman told me. Would you like us to place a trace on it? Of course I said yes. But something in my gut told me this wasn't a USPS screw-up. The morning after, my neighbor Terrence stopped me on the sidewalk, glancing over his shoulder like he was about to tell me the government's secrets. Hey, Nolan. My wife's been walking early in the mornings. She saw Carol opening mailboxes, not just once. Like, she's making a habit of it. I stopped walking. My stomach dropped. Carol always strutted around like she ran the place. But tampering with mail, that wasn't petty, that was a felony. I didn't confront her. That's not how I handle things. I called up someone I trusted, Daryl, a buddy of mine from my USPS days, who still worked the Maple Creek route. Daryl. Listen, I think someone's stealing my mail. Can you let me know when you deliver tomorrow? And if there's anything from the credit union, hold on to it. Daryl didn't even hesitate. You got it, man. Let's catch this witch. Next day, I sat by the front window like I was on a stakeout. Daryl passed by just after 9 a.m., gave me a little wave. About 10 minutes later, there she came, Carol Delaney, head held high like she was off to accept an award, phone in hand like she was inspecting properties for violations. She paused at my mailbox, glanced around, then clear as day opened it, reached in, and pulled out a thick envelope. One look, and I knew. That was my check. I hit record on my phone and filmed her sliding it right into her oversized purse. I didn't shout. I didn't go after her. I called Daryl. She took it. I got it on video. The line went quiet. Then he said, "That's mail theft. Nolan, I'm reporting this to postal inspectors right now. By that afternoon, I got a call from an agent named Inspector Leah Morton." She sounded calm, professional, and very interested in what I'd caught on tape. "Mr. Lanford," she said, "we'd like to arrange a controlled delivery and monitor her behavior. Are you willing to assist? I didn't even blink. Absolutely. The pension office agreed to issue a duplicate check this time, laced with a tracking device. Daryl coordinated with the inspectors. Everything was timed down to the minute. On Friday morning, Daryl gave me a subtle nod when he placed the envelope in my box. I sat near the blinds again, phone in hand, heart racing like I was back in basic training. And just like before, like clockwork, Carol showed up in her pastel yellow blazer, pretending to take photos of my front lawn. Then she darted to the mailbox, grabbed the envelope, and tucked it in her bag like she was picking up dry cleaning. She didn't make it halfway down the block. A nondescript gray sedan pulled up next to her, and 2 agents stepped out. Badges raised. Ms. Delaney, one of them said firmly. Postal Inspector Morton, we need to speak with you regarding mail theft. I watched from the porch as Carol froze. For a split second, she looked around like she was waiting for anyone to come to her defense. But no one moved. Half the neighborhood had stepped out by then, watching silently. I was just collecting misdelivered mail, she stammered, eyes wide. This is harassment. I'm the HOA president. The agent didn't flinch. We have surveillance of you taking mail from multiple boxes, including a federal disbursement containing a tracker. Mail theft is a felony, ma'am. They asked her to place her purse on the ground. When she did, they opened it and pulled out not just my envelope, but utility bills, medical statements, even a postcard from someone's granddaughter. A later search of her house turned up a drawer full of unopened envelopes, some postmarked from over a year ago. Carol Delaney was arrested that day. Her lawyer tried to argue mental fatigue, confusion, stress from her HOA responsibilities, but none of it held up. The court saw the footage, reviewed the evidence, and the judge didn't mince words. You violated federal law, breached the trust of your community, and endangered the livelihoods of your neighbors. Carol got 18 months in federal prison, a $50,000 fine, and 5 years of supervised release. I sat in that courtroom and watched as she sobbed, asking the judge who would oversee the HOA now. No one answered. No one cared. Outside, people weren't cheering or laughing, just quiet. It was like the neighborhood could finally exhale after months of being on edge. I felt a weight come off my shoulders, too. I didn't want revenge. I didn't want drama. I just wanted peace. And in the end, that's exactly what I got delivered right to my door. No signature required.